So I recently generated over 700 leads in a couple of minutes, probably less time than it takes you to watch your favorite episode on Netflix or Prime. And I did this without any ads, any viral content, no 30 days of dancing online or this whole TikTok strategy, right? So in this video, I'm going to actually break down exactly how I did it and why a lot of business owners are still working way harder than they actually need to be. If you don't know me, my name is Jarrell Henderson. I built my own multi six figure business. I've also worked behind the scenes with six figure entrepreneurs and alongside of seven figure entrepreneurs, and even been on a team with eight figure entrepreneurs. And there's one thing that's been consistent across all three levels, and it's not what you think. That one thing, not motivation, not a bunch of hustle culture, not a bunch of hype videos going viral and grinding 24/7. You've been lied to and told to do. It is systems. And recently, using a system that I built with AI, I generated these 700 leads, and it's over 700. It's probably now close to 1,000 because it's actually working in the background. So it's about 1,000. And I can do this by clicking a button or talking into the microphone, just like I'm doing right now, and generate leads for just about any business that is out there. Today, I'm going to break down the difference from the busy business owner to the business owner who installs leverage and actually grows from it. My business just got 1,000 leads in a couple minutes, and they see it in revenue, they see it in RI, they see it in all the places that actually count in business. So the business owner who stays busy, they're answering every message manually, they're following up from memory, they're checking all of their DMs all day, every single day, and they're just like working and extremely burnt out. And this might be you at this place and time in your life. And you're probably extremely tired. You think that you're extremely consistent, but in actuality, you're just breeding a ground for inconsistency. And you're extremely reactive to the things that happen. Whereas the business owner that has systems in place, they follow up automatically, they capture leads automatically, they book automatically, and their nurture system is automatic. And they're not less ambitious, they're just structured. And so that business owner has a system to acquire leads, right? That business owner acquires leads in one of many ways, or in the way that I just acquired these leads, right? Now scripture says the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Notice something. It doesn't say the effort of the busy, right? It says the plans of the diligent. Most people think being diligent just means being busy. But biblically speaking, diligence means being disciplined, structured, and intentional, a plan, a system. Hasty equals rushing, scrambling, reacting. Abundance follows structure. In 2026, AI has been allowing you, but now you've just recently woken up to it or decided that you're going to do something about it and use it to build structure faster than you've ever done it before. So it's only really ever two scenarios, and it speaks to you and which one you're in right now. It's only two. So you can only be either or, right? So in scenario A, the leveraged operator, and that's pretty much the person that's already made money, person that's already been making the money, and maybe you've already made 10K, 30K, 100K, 500K, even a million. If you're a coach, consultant in service-based industry, or realtor, service-based as well, venue owner, home pro, the tool that you want to use right now, hands down, I would tell you to use High Level. I'm not an affiliate. It's the reason that I tell you, if you're in any of those niches, even if you sell digital products as well, if it was out when I first started back in, I want to say 2017, 2018, things would have ran a lot smoother. If I had a system that captured my leads, organized them for me, had phone numbers, I could do forms, all of that, that was all in one. This is, And it's easy to follow as this is a CRM, a lead capture, automated follow-up, pipelines, booking, funnels, websites, all that. Business just would have been way smoother. And I wouldn't have been on this back and forth teeter-totter of I'm not in business. So as you're in tier A, right, and you've made this money and you're in the service-based niches, you provide services to people or you provide online digital products, you need a place. And that place I recommend is High Level. I don't make anything by recommending them to you. The only other comparable thing to this is maybe like a HubSpot or like Salesforce, but people often complain about the prices and the complexity. And some people complain about the complexity with High Level. Now you have two options being in tier A. Those two options being you can learn it yourself, which is the extremely like that's just not a great use of your time. And you already been saying that you don't have a lot of time. Like, I want to start a business, I want to make this money online, and I want to do this, I want to do that, but I just don't got the time. So learning it yourself is not the right play. Or you can pay someone that already understands how to use the system and set it up properly and position it so that it can work for you. But either way, you're going to pay, whether you pay with your time or you pay with your money. And when you have money, you're not paying to learn. You're paying to be told, here are the exact steps, execute them, and then you get the result. And that's your leverage when you actually have capital. Now, tier B, the builder, you're still building that business. You're still trying to make your first dollar online or deciding, should I get this going? And in my last video, I already told you that you should. I'll link it here. But that's the other side. And if you're just starting and you haven't made consistent income, you don't need this. This is not right for you. You do not need High Level, because the only way that you need it is if you're tier A and you're going to get somebody to build it for you or you're going to learn it. You got the money to pay, because it costs money. It's not free. To run your business, it's going to cost you money. As tier B, something like a stand store has been really going crazy with. Now, you can still run stand store if you're in tier A. You can still use it if you're in tier A. I tried it. I'm in tier A. I didn't really like it. That's just me personally. Before I started using Go High Level, I was using Kajabi. And before I was using Kajabi, I was using ClickFunnels. And while I was using Kajabi, I was using ClickFunnels as well. Now, the reason I say stand store for you as tier B is because it's not complex. You don't need complexity right now. You don't need this back end that does all this follow up and do all of that. You're focusing on getting your first dollar. Is follow up important? Yes. Is having that system in place important? Yes. Does Stand Store do that for you? Yes. You need simplicity, and that's what Stand Store is. So you can create your digital product. You can use AI to build it. You can look at my last video where I showed you how you can use AI to what the 3 businesses that you can start making money with AI in the next 24 to 48, 72, 1 week. So you use AI to build the product, then you sell it, and in selling it, you're going to validate whether or not it's a legitimate offer. Because if you're not getting any business from it, then not at all. And sometimes it takes some time, because to get my first sale online, it took me a couple months. But once I figured it out, it was like, it was like a light bulb. And I figured out that they want you to be consistent, and without the proper system, how can you be consistent? If you get leads the way that a lot of people get them the slow way, you're posting all this content online or you're running ads, and so you're getting these leads, and now you have to nurture them. What happens without that system? You're not emailing them. And even if you do have a system like a Stand Store, if you don't know, well, how often should I email? You don't know, how often should I send text messages? What should I say on my landing page? What should I say on my website? Because you're just starting out. So which is why if you don't have the money or you don't want to spend the money, and that's what I'm seeing a lot of people's cases are, they don't want to spend the money. So if that's you and you don't want to spend it, you just must be okay with knowing that it's going to take you a little bit longer. If you're being cheap, it's going to take you longer. The famous saying, you get what you pay for. That's it. So you don't pay, you don't play. That is exactly how it works. So with this tier B, you don't necessarily need a website, but if you do want to get a website, just go to Lovable. In my last video, I told you about how to create websites with AI. Don't focus so much on your branding coming out. Don't focus on this getting a team. You need proof of concept. So once you start hitting $500 to $1,000 consistently, and then it's going to keep going up, then, well, let me refine some things. Let me make sure, let me see, because now you have money in your pocket to go out and get someone to brand you. You have money in your pocket to go out and to pay the coach or the consultant that does the thing to get you to accelerate you to those 5K regular months, or those 10K regular months, or those 20K months. When I was on the team where I was a coach in this 8-figure business model, my job was to coach people on adopting systems. That's what I did. I helped them understand that you can use the information you've already grabbed from these leads, and you can put it into a platform like a Kajabi or a Go High Level or a Stand Store, and you can generate revenue from it, because they were just sitting on their leads because they didn't know how to build something that just ran. When you look at your job, when you look at or looking at how, have you ever gone to like the DMV? It's a hectic one, but it's a process. It's a system. You come in, you have to see a person. Maybe you got to do the test. And then after you do the test, you go to the person, they confirm the results. And then you go and you take your picture. That's a system. And so a lot of you are missing that. And so you're missing that right now. And so the moment that you decide to install them, you'll see a difference, whether you are a tier B or a tier A. So tier B, again, your system looks like a stand store, or paying or deciding to come up off the cash and not being stubborn and saying, well, I'm going to pay and go ahead and get, because I'm going to accelerate the time to get to where I want to go. The longer you stay in tier B, the longer it's going to take you to get to where you want to go. You're in tier B because you don't want to pay to play. And if you can't pay, absolutely can't, that will put you in a tier B kind of moment. But I gave you exactly what to do. If you don't have any money to pay for a high level or to pay for stand store, because it's a monthly amount to it, everybody offers free trials. But if you don't have any money to do any of those, you get Zoom, it's free. You sign up for a Stripe account, it's free. You create a payment link, and you have your Zoom link, and you got Instagram, you got social media, and you got YouTube. I've been telling people for years, start a YouTube channel. I don't have a ton of subscribers yet on my YouTube channel. I got a few thousand. Y'all can blow it up. I appreciate the support. Comments, tell me where you're from. I answer your comments. But I was able to make multiple six from a growing YouTube channel. So the real difference between A and B, and A leverages experience. A installs structure. A moves faster. A has systems that are doing the work behind the scenes for them. So the people that you see posting every day and the content, that's because they've created. Consistency is easy once you have something in place, once you have structure in place. And then with B, you spend a lot of time learning. You're rewatching a lot of your content. You're testing, you're adjusting, you're repeating. And this is all before you go out and bring your product or your service to the marketplace. And there's nothing wrong with either or wherever you're at, because I started in B. That's where everyone starts at. You got to learn. And then once you figure out what type of person you are, you decide then, well, I no longer want to I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in the space of I'm just going to watch all the YouTube videos and consume without doing. How are you doing this? And then you start investing. This is how I started my first brick and mortar business. I was like, I took my last $5,000 and I started investing. And that, I know I wasn't doing it alone. I was betting on God, because he gives you the ideas and you have to execute them. And if you believe in them, then you will do. Like, that's how it works. Become, do, have. Become the person through belief. Do the work because you believe. that you are the person, and you'll have the things that the person will have. So the reason that I was able to get here 600 or so leads here, I'm trying to do this without showing any information. Here's another 160 leads here. The reason that I was able to get these 700 leads, it wasn't because I just decided to manually go and look up all these websites and do all of that. No, it's because I'm actually using AI, how it's meant to be used, to make what we would normally do manually a lot faster. And I built a system one time. This lead gen system, I built it a couple times because I wanted to test over across platforms. So the one that I'm using to grab these 700, I built it in Google Anti-Gravity. My first one, I built it in VS Code. But either or, the AI did the sourcing. The AI filtered the leads. The AI organized the leads. And then my automation system will send the emails out. Then I will be able to follow up with them. I can do it with the system, or I can do it manually. Now with this particular thing, once they reply, you want to go ahead and send more personalized responses. But all the true heavy lifting was done because I built something one time. I wasn't hustling. I wasn't working extremely hard. I just knew, all right, this is what I want. And this structure, the system did the work. And so that's the difference. So when I first became a six-figure entrepreneur, it was hard. It was extremely difficult. That first 100K was like a dogfight. But when I became the one with the systems, I was able to duplicate it. It just made more sense. And so once I installed this structure, I could recreate the revenue again and again. And that's when you know that things for you are going to be a lot more stable. That's when your stress drops, and that's when your growth becomes a lot more predictable. So my question to you is, do you want to just stay busy, or do you want to install some sort of leverage? So if you're a service-based business owner and you want systems like this built inside of your business, whether it be automatic follow, auto text replies, phone, voice agents, auto lead gen systems, so you can grab, you need leads all the time, click the link below. And then if you want to learn how to do these things, I'm opening up a completely free, hear me out, group where I'm breaking down this in real time, systems, AI workflows, go high level setups, lead automation, back-end infrastructure. It's no fluff, completely free. And you're watching that now at the end or at the beginning of the video, so that you can just go and get it and watch the rest of the video and continue to learn. So no fluff, no hustle talk, just structure. Remember, the plans of the diligent lead to abundance, not busyness, not chaos, not random stuff, plans. So if you're ready to build, you know what to do. You know what you need to install. So I'll see you inside. Peace and blessings to you.